Hello, music producers. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to convert your MIDI files to audio clips in FL Studios. All right, so as you can see, first of all, we have a simple melody going on here. Okay, so this is just a very simple basic melody, and we're going to be converting this melody to an audio clip. Now, the very most basic way to actually achieve this is just to simply render the file. Okay, so you can just go ahead and export this. Let's go to export, WAV file, MP3, whatever you want to do it as. Save it. Then you go ahead and bring it back into FL Studio. And that is just that. You have an audio clip. You can always go ahead and just trim this down a bit. Then you can always loop it as much as you want. It's not wrong to do this, but there are more efficient ways and more better ways to achieve this. So a much easier way to do this is just by selecting the pattern that you want to convert to an audio file, and you do that by holding down Control and selecting on the pattern. All right, then you can hold down Control Alt C, and what this does is that it brings out the same render options we have, but this way it automatically just renders it straight into FL Studio. Like there's no back and forth between the file and bringing it back into FL Studio. No, it just exports it and brings it down, brings it into FL Studio by itself. So we have the same option like as if we want to render the work. All right, so you can just go ahead and click on start. It does that, and it brings up this, and it renders your work for you right here. So as you can see, this is exactly the same audio clip as the one we have here. For FL Studio actually mutes the original MIDI clip, but you can always go ahead and unmute it by selecting the mute button right here. You can unmute it, and you can also mute it back. Let me just unmute it, and then let me mute it generally here. So you can see it's actually pattern 1 consolidated. You can see the name that they gave it right here, and this is just it. So these first two steps are not really that bad. They are straightforward. They are very easygoing. Everything is right. There's nothing wrong about them. But there's actually a better way to achieve converting converting MIDI files to audio clips, and that is by using Edison. And I'm going to actually show you why Edison is the best way to achieve converting MIDI files to audio clips in just a second. So you just go over to your mixer. You can actually load up Edison anywhere. All right, so you set this to on play. All right, then what you might also want to do is you might also want to highlight the portion that you want to actually convert to a MIDI file, to convert to an audio file, sorry, and make sure you silence. Like let's say you have a big project, make sure you mute all other tracks so that it's just the pattern, it's just the track that you want to convert to an audio file. So when you're ready, just go over to your Edison, hit the record button, don't forget to put it on play, then you play it. Then what you want to do here is you want to actually allow it to loop at least 3 times, and there's a reason for this. Just allow it to loop for at least 3 times. Okay, then when it reaches the 3rd loop, you can now then stop it. So there's actually a very good reason why we actually looped it 3 times, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But first of all, let's just, once you've highlighted this middle portion, you can do that by clicking this what I call it a timer that we have here. So you can just double click on it, and it highlights this portion. Then you can now go ahead and drag this into the playlist, and then we have this right here. So the reason why I take Edison as the best way to actually convert this MIDI files to audio clips is because, like, once, like, if you notice, if I'm to play this track continuously, you notice that there are still some sounds that come in even when the note has ended. And when we export and we consolidate those tracks, it doesn't put all those extra sounds into consideration. And that is why Edison is actually a very good way, because those extra sounds have actually entered into the second recording, and that is why we had to actually do it 3 times, so that at least the second one is completed and those extra sounds from the first one also enter into the second one, and now becomes a perfect loop. Now this is actually this is actually a very good melody, and that is why you see that these ones here even actually look well. But in some certain melodies, they might not actually. They will be like as if there's a break in the melody and there's a break in the flow. But once we use Edison to do that, once we use Edison to record those clips, it becomes smooth and it now becomes a perfect loop. So that's why using Edison is actually the most preferable way to achieve this. So guys, that'll be it for this video. Please, if you like the video, do hit the like button and also subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so that you get notified when I upload new videos just like this one for you guys. Till we meet again guys, stay safe and see you in the next one.